Some people fail even before they start because they are so consumed by the fear of failing and rejection that they end up saying no to opportunities, which is often the easier way out. All my life, I've always been a yes person. Now, of course, saying yes brings tremendous value, but you don't necessarily need to say yes to absolutely everything. But I say yes to things that could potentially help me advance in life as well as build and shape my career. Today, I'm going to share with you my life story, experiences, and how saying yes has sent my life into a brand new direction. Alright, so I think that many of you do not know this, but my first love, my first dream was to be a model. Well, growing up, my mom always told me that, I think you have the potential to be a model because you're somewhat tall and long. And I agreed until all my friends hit puberty and started growing taller than me. But I believe in what my mom said because my mom is the most direct, straightforward person ever. If she thinks that this is ugly, this is ugly. But if she sees something in me, I should probably believe in her. So, the thing is, I enjoy posing in front of the camera a lot. Let me show you what I mean. There. I think I look pretty good here, right? In the making. And then, if this is not good enough, what about this? Not bad, huh? For an 8-year-old girl. So, when I was 18 years old, my mom stumbled upon this advertisement in a newspaper, the search for the next model competition. And then she asked me to join. I was like, I don't think I could do this. What if I faint during audition? I might just end up scaring myself. But I went ahead. So my mom was there with me. We signed up. I was there. I saw a lot of girls. They were so tall. I felt intimidated. And then I signed up. I paid 100 ringgit as submission fee. And then about a week later, the organizer called me and like, hey, you got selected. You are one out of our 100 candidates. Well, I mean, it's not top 30, top 50, but 1 out of 100, I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, and then 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. No call updates whatsoever. And then soon enough, I realized that it was actually a scam. The company closed down, and I didn't get my 100 ringgit back. To me, when I was 18 years old, 100 ringgit is a lot lah. It's like 100,000, okay? So and then I kept trying. I sent my profiles to agencies, went for castings, auditions, but I never really gotten a call back or someone wants to sign me. I guess maybe even though that was my dream, but I probably didn't have the X factor to be a supermodel. But I learned, I've accepted the fact, and I moved on because I believe when one door closes, another opens. And then this leads me to knowing that I am not model material. But it's okay, life goes on. And then 3 years later, my friend contacted me and asked like, hey, would you be interested to join Miss Tourism Malaysia? My first question was, do I have to pay? I don't have money, But no, I don't have to, it's free. You just need to join because we are actually lack of contestants lah. Would you like to just join and fill in the gap? Sure, no problem. I was actually intimidated because I didn't have the best clothes, dress, gowns, and when I was there, all the girls were so pretty. They spoke so well. Their heels were like really high, like 5 inches, and mine was like just only 2 inches, and they were not even nice. But the thing is, I learned to have fun along the way. I made a bunch of really great friends who are actually here today to support me. Yeah. And I never looked back. The thing is, surprisingly, I actually won. I don't know how. Maybe I was the best of the worst. I don't know. But I somehow made it. And then Miss World Malaysia came. It was actually my mom who again encouraged me to join. I don't think you know this, most of you know this, but I actually joined twice. One in 2011 and one in 2012. 2011, I didn't win, but I made it top 5. And then when 2012 an advertisement came, my mom asked me like, hey, you don't want to join again? I don't think so. I don't think I want to go through that again. And then she's like, oh, you're not getting any younger, You're turning 24 this year, and this is your last year to participate. If you don't do it, you won't get a chance next year. Maybe you can consider Mrs. Malaysia instead, Yeah, that was pretty harsh. So I was thinking about it, like, do I want to go through the whole rejection, the whole failure thing again? And I realized that when people are faced with failure, they do not want to go through that process again because they are afraid of what people might think of them. And then I thought to myself, if I always care of what people think of me, I will always and forever be their prisoner, and I do not want that. So I joined in 2012 with no expectation whatsoever. I just want to be more comfortable in my own skin, and surprisingly, I won the second time. Woo! Alright, but after winning Miss World Malaysia, life wasn't a bed of roses, as what people would like to think. Like they think that after you're being crowned, you will be super famous, you earn a lot of money, but that's not true. I didn't get the exposure that I need. Nobody was there to push me. I was left to my own device, fighting my own battle, which a lot of people didn't know. Ask any beauty queens and they could tell you a story of their own struggles. But that didn't stop me from pursuing a career in the entertainment industry. I just keep trying. And then I ventured into hosting. A friend of mine, her name is Amelia, she asked me like, hey, do you want to try hosting? And I was like, I'm not too sure, because even though I enjoy talking to people, but I don't think my command of English is that great, because I come from a very Chinese family. I speak Cantonese at home. My English was pretty lousy and I always get laughed at. When I pronounce certain words wrongly, like the word familiar, I used to pronounce it as, hey, so familiar. And I was like, that's not how you pronounce it. I'm like, oh, okay. When people laugh at you, you laugh with them to make things less awkward. So, yeah. So through hosting, I realized my weaknesses and strengths. I remember the first time I hosted, I was so scared, nervous, my palms were sweating, my heart was racing, I thought I was going to die. Yeah, so I made a lot of mistakes, the words didn't come out right, but you know what? I learned and I tried. And who knows, who would have known that 9 years down the road, I am still hosting, making a living out of it. And then, the Amazing Race Asia opportunity came up. Being the yes person that I always have been, you will be surprised that when I tell you this, I actually said no multiple times to joining the Amazing Race Asia. Because the first thing that came to my mind was, I will die. I am not fit enough. How am I going to run? And then my best friend, Chloe, who eventually became my partner on the race, told me that, hey, the cash prize is 100,000 ringgit. You sure you don't want to join? I was thinking but I will be away for a long time. I don't know for how long. I will have lots of income, and when I go on the race, you'll be cut off from the rest of the world. They take away your phone, your money, and even if you are the first team to be eliminated, you don't get to go home immediately. You have to stay to the end of the race, which takes about a month, and you can't go anywhere. So I was like, do I want to do this or not? And then I thought to myself, if I didn't say yes, I would probably forever think about it. And I'm so glad that I said yes and made it, we sent our audition video, got called back, and surprisingly we were one of the 11 teams to join the race. So during the race, we were so intimidated because we were not the fittest or the strongest. And some of our male counterparts actually told us straight into our face that, hey, you know what? We were really surprised that you got chosen, because you guys are not that strong. And that actually fueled us to perform even better. During the race, it was really challenging. Not just physically, but mentally. It's super demanding. Just look at my face. My face was like this, throughout the entire show, because all the challenges that we did was so hard. Look at those centipedes, bats, rats. I had to eat all that during one of the challenges. I don't know how I pulled through that, but I just did it. Maybe because I was kiasu, I need to prove to the guys that I can do it and beat you out. And then you could see, I was fighting human bull. That was the time when I felt so intimidated in my life. They pushed me down. They just, lifted me and threw me down in a muddy, paddy field. I felt so powerless, and you could see that I was broken at the end of the race. And then, I don't know how, we persevered, teamwork, and then we eventually became the first runner-up of the Amazing Race Asia Season 5. So that was pretty amazing to me. And then, later, from all the recognition that I got from Zarrel, from the Amazing Race, Zarrel came about. So it was a friend who actually asked me like, hey, do you want to be an influencer to help us to promote Zarrel? If you don't know what Zarrel is, it is the first infinite closet in Malaysia. It's a fashion subscription model where we send you clothes free of charge to your doorstep, and you can rent as many pieces as you want with one monthly subscription fee. So during Zarrel, I would say that I was very insecure, and I doubted myself a lot because part of my job includes organizing like photo shoots, getting models together, and most importantly, getting retailers on board to consign their products with Zarrel. So Zarrel's concept is super new. It's the first and only in Malaysia. So a lot of people were skeptical about the potential of Zarrel, whether it would make it or not. So I had a hard time trying to persuade retailers to get on board, even up to today. I've never so this is also part of my job, like being the props for the models. They don't need me, they actually need me to hold the balloons only. Yeah, so during Zarrel, it taught me a lot about rejection. You know, like I sent out so many emails every day to look up for retailers, like maybe 50 a day. Like only one gets back, or maybe two the most a day. Like I feel really disheartened, but I just keep going and ask myself like, is our terms and conditions not attractive enough for them to be on board? So I improvised that, and then soon enough, we have more retailers that are confident with our concept, and today, it's been a year, we have about 25 retailers now, which I think is pretty good because we are growing. And then, most of you would think that, oh, you know, Yvonne has it good, like she gets so many opportunities just come knocking on the door, but that's not true. You know, when you don't have opportunities presented to you, you create your own opportunities, and that was why, like, I've been freelancing my whole life. It's great that I am my own boss, but sometimes you don't get jobs at all. You don't get called to go for casting and auditions. But so what do? You create your own door. You create your own opportunities. And that's how my first freelance job came about when I was a mascot for Chunli. I was just looking on Lawyer.net, like I just want to earn some extra income, and I got this job. So I worked from like 10 to 10, just walking around, handing out like flyers to people, asking people to join the game and buy some stuff from like Sony or stuff. So that was my first freelance job. And then I had my own blog shop, which gave me the opportunity to be a model of my own. You know, like I model myself to save costs. Isn't that obvious? And then I even joined Project TEDxTARUC. So from Miss World Malaysia, I didn't get the exposure that I needed. So I have to find ways to expose myself, to get more visibility. So that's how I joined Project TEDxTARUC, because I want to stay relevant and, you know, to grow my career in the entertainment line. So I joined Project TEDxTARUC. It was very tough because the show was in Malay and my bahasa wasn't great. So during the filming of the show, I struggled with bahasa so much that, you know, I tried so hard to impress that the judges ended up not understanding what I was saying. You know, I used so many bombastic words, even I myself couldn't understand. What was my point, huh? You know, but I learned, you know, and now I have so many Malay friends, and my BM is so much better. Boleh lah, I would say. And then came about Looks Lash Shop. You know, so I was introduced by this lash serum that helps to enhance and grow your lashes. So what you do is just apply on the roots of your lashes and watch your lashes grow longer and fuller. So what I did was I just posted a photo online. I actually test the market. I wanted to sell it, but I didn't want to tell people. I just randomly post a picture like, oh, I've been using this serum, it's amazing. And then everybody started asking me about it. Oh, where do you get it? I want to buy it. And that's how I started this business. It's been 3 years now, it's great, people like it, I'm happy to make people look fabulous. And then so it brings me to a point where if I had not said yes to all these opportunities, I wouldn't know how it feels like to be a model, to be rejected, what are the other opportunities that are out there for me, and I will forever be looking sad and forlorn like these two girls that are always questioning themselves like, what if? And also I'd like to tell you this, a little secret. I almost said no to speaking here today because I was so afraid. I don't know what to share with you, and looking at the list of speakers that they have invited, I'm like, oh man, I'm nowhere near them. But I told myself that if I didn't give this a shot, I would always and forever be asking myself like, what if I could have like inspired some people in this hall today? I wouldn't know. So today, here I stand before you. I want you to unleash the power of saying yes. Say yes to things that scare you. Say yes to things that you have always wanted to try. Say yes to expressing yourself, your love to someone you wouldn't know. I want you to step out of your comfort zone. I want you to learn to say yes more because it brings a lot of value. Because if you say no, you are going to restrict yourself and close that doors on you forever. If you say no, it will limit your potential to grow, to be a better person, to learn, to accept, and to understand all this of emotions and what the world has to offer you. So today, I would like to share with you my favorite quote, which is, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure if you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. Thank you.